Jeanetta says she became pregnant after having a casual fling with an old friend from high school named David. But to her surprise, David refused to believe the child was his because she had recently ended her relationship with another man. And to make matters worse, David tragically took his own life, leaving his grieving mother, Charlene, with the same doubts. Take a look.
My son David was 35 years old. He was dating this girl, and the last text he sent her was, "Don't worry about me. I'll be going." He said, "because I'm going to go in here and hang myself." And he did do that. I miss David so much because he was a good kid. He really was. He had a heart of gold. When he left, a big part of my heart and my soul is gone. Before my son passed away, he had been off and on with a couple different girls. Back in 2020, David did have a fling with an old high school friend, Jeanetta, and she ended up getting pregnant with a little boy. I'd really desperately like to know if he is my grandson. Sometimes he'd tell me it is his son, sometimes he'd tell me it wasn't. If this would be my grandson, it would be like still having a piece of David here with me. It would really mean a lot to me. My son David had doubts because the little boy has blue eyes and real blonde hair. And then the second thing that he said he had doubts about is because she had just got out of a relationship with an ex-boyfriend. Even though my son David has his doubts, I've always been present in this little boy's life. I'm like really afraid to find out today that he is not my grandson, because it's like breaking my heart all over again. I do believe that if I find out this is my grandson, that I will get a little bit of my heart back and a little bit of my life back, because I have him, I can hold him and hug him, and kiss him the way I can't myself.
Jeanetta, you were close friends with Charlene's son. Tell me what happened.
Yes, we was close friends. We known each other. I'm sorry, I'm very emotional. We known each other from high school, and we like hung out all the time because our two friends that we had, they dated, and that's how we known each other.
And so how did it come to be that you ended up, being physical with them?
Well, in high school, we was friends, and then after that, we reconnected about 2 years ago, and I had just recently broke up with my boyfriend. He had broke up with his girlfriend, and we were single, and then we just happened to have like a little fling, and it just so happens in that fling, I ended up getting pregnant.
Yeah. So you weren't serious, you weren't in like a real monogamous relationship or anything like that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
And when you find out you're pregnant, you're happy, you're scared, what were your emotions?
I was happy. I was scared because I didn't know what was going to happen with David, how he was going to feel about it and stuff like that. So I had a whole bunch of things going on in my mind, but I knew that I was going to have the baby regardless.
So in your mind, as soon as you find out you're pregnant, you're thinking David's the father.
I know for sure that David is the father.
Sure.
I have no doubts.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you told David, what was his reaction?
He said that it wasn't his baby, that there was no possible way that it could be his baby, but of course we know you can get pregnant off of one time. And he just was like, "That's not my baby." He just kept saying that, but then eventually he said that it was. And sometimes he would say it wasn't, and sometimes he'd say it was.
So he kind of went back and forth.
Yes, he always went and forth about it.
Was he ever in your son's life?
Yes, he did. He actually did come to the hospital. He actually did. He actually signed the birth certificate. He actually, as you can see, Jersey held him. He was there, but it was like more of a convenient time for him whenever he decided that he wasn't trying to deny my son.
Now, David tragically took his own life. How did you react when you found out that David had killed himself?
It still upsets me to this day because now my son, regardless if he wasn't there right now, I don't know how he was going to be in the near future. He could have been actually a positive father and been there, but my son will never get to see that now. My son's never going to have a daddy-son relationship or anything like that. And it upsets me that when he gets older, I have to tell him what happened to his father.
Do you want to tell your story on the Steve Wilkos Show? Visit the link in the description to get my help. Now, Charlene has doubts, but she has doubts because of what David told her. You know, and she said it best, you know, it's tragic when a parent loses a child, but if this was her grandson, that, you know, her son is going to live through the grandson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I understand her doubts. I understand.
Is she part of your son's life?
She's not as actively as I would like her to be. I would like her to be a little bit more actively. So that's why I am hoping after the DNA test come back, she actually is more there and wants to do more stuff with him.
You want a little more babysitting?
No.
I was just kidding. Just kidding. When's the last time she saw your son?
Well, she actually seen him whenever we went and got the DNA test. We did see her there, but I can't really actually remember when the last time was. I can't remember.
How old's your son now?
He's 2.
He
just turned 2 in January.
All right, so we're gonna find out. And you're saying, hey, no way it could be anybody else's.
There's no possible way. I am 1,000% sure that he is his son.
All right, let's bring in Charlene. Hey, Charlene.
Jeanetta, I know I understand you're hurt, but you got to understand me. If this is David's son, God, I'm so happy. But if it's not, there's another piece of my heart broke again. That's why I don't really get close to him.
I understand that, and I take that into consideration. But today, you're definitely going to see that he is your grandson. And whenever this proves that he's your grandson, then I want you to be there for him more and be active because he's missing out. He's missing out on another part of his family.
Yeah, I understand that. But I just want to make sure because I don't want to put everything into him and then it not be, and then I'm broken heart again.
I understand that, and today you'll know.
Charlene, do you hope that the little boy is your grandson?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. Like I said, that's a part of my son to go on.
What did your son say about how he felt if he was the father or not?
When family told me that Jeanetta was pregnant, I was talking, said I was happy and all that, and then a day or two later, David called me. He said, Mom, don't believe anything she says. She's just a liar. It's not my baby, you know, do this or that. And then later on, I'd see that he was around him, and he'd say, yeah, it's mine, and then he'd say it wasn't. And
do you have a relationship with the little boy?
a little bit.
Yeah.
I try to keep a relationship a little with him because, you know, I just don't want to come into his life all of a sudden, you know, hey, I'm your grandma, you know. I want him, if he is my grandson, I want him comfortable, you know, that to be around me.
Yeah, and these are going to be very formative years for him, you know, knowing if you're his grandmother or not. When you look at the little boy, do you see your son in him?
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, if this DNA test comes back and you are the little boy's grandmother, do you see yourself with an expanded role in his life?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, that's a good question. That's a good outcome. Let's hope. All right, Charlene, we did a DNA test. And the results of that DNA test, Charlene, is that you are the grandmother of Jeanetta's 2-year-old son.
Oh, my God, yes.
I'm so thankful. Yes. Now, can you please start coming around and please start being there for him? I really want him to know his family. I want you to be there to be able to tell the memories of his father. I don't have a lot of memories, so I want you to be there to be able to tell him the memories of his father.
Yes.
Please. And I will never, you
Thank
can come
you.
get him if you would like to come get him. You can do anything. I will, you can, all, you have all, anything. I will do anything for you to be a part of his life.
Thank you, God. Oh my God, thank you.
You now have another piece of David that I want you to hold on to, and I hope you cherish it because he is going to be part of your life.
I will. It's like something David left me.
Yes. And I'm thankful that I can give that to you, and I want you guys to build a strong relationship.
I'm sorry that it wasn't there that much, but I just didn't know.
Well, and
It's okay.
And I'll say this, Charlene, you lost a son, you know, not long ago. So I think everybody could sympathize, and you know, when you go through something like that, it's hard to put, you know, yourself around anything. So, you know, you have a right to grieve and be messed up for a while. But now I hope, like you found out now, that David lives on through his son, your grandson.
Yes.
And, you know, Jeanetta certainly is, you know, she's not asked for anything except, hey, I want my son to know his family. So I think this is going to be, it's going to be a great outcome. Again, sorry for your loss, but you're gaining a grandson, and I wish you guys all the luck in the world.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
From my heart, thank you.
You got it. Take care.
Thank you. You take care.